Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the 143. This is episode 118, coming at you live. Nick, how we doing?
We're doing all right on this Monday evening. As you know, we record on Mondays now. It's weather's nice here. It's not quite hot yet here in Texas, so we're having good days. We got a good one for you, kind of painting the picture of the playoffs for the NHL and the NBA. So this should be a good one.
Yeah, the playoffs start for both those leagues. They're normally pretty much hand in hand with each other in terms of when the seasons start, when they finish. And so we're going to talk to you about that today. We're going to start you off with the stat of the week, brought to you by Andrew's Logistics. The stat is Scotty Scheffler won his second Masters this weekend. It's pretty hard to do. People were saying it was the toughest conditions that they've had for the Masters tournament in a long time. Scotty Scheffler took the lead on Saturday and really didn't give it up after that. So he was dominant. He's been dominant all year if you follow golf, but he tacked on another Masters win and a major win as well. So just got to give some love to the Dallas boy out of Highland Park. Congrats to Scotty Scheffler.
And with that, yeah, he was obviously going to be the player of the week, winning $18 million. That was the prize for the Masters. So, I mean, that's pretty electrifying if you ask me. Obviously, he is a local boy, so we know him, obviously, because he's from the area.
Yep.
But, it's another Dallas victory. We've been taking a lot of victories as a city here recently. Things are looking up in the sports world for Dallas, so that was a good one to have.
So we've actually given him a shout out before 2 years ago when he won the Masters. He was also the player of the week, and he was because I remember him being the Instagram post. So we were talking about this 2 years ago. He did it again. That's pretty hard to do. Slight correction to the money thing though, Nick. He won $3.24 million. They split the $18 million between the field.
They did. Okay.
Yeah, but he has won this year just based off tournaments he's won. He won it's now up to like 11 million just in the ones that he was the winner of those tournaments. So you win, no matter, you get money if you make the cut. But he's been racking up some serious wins this year in some big tournaments. So he's had a pretty good year financially because he's been so
obviously good. It fails in comparison to the financial success we have here on Under Review.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't need to win the Masters. Masters, they need us actually to talk about them, to give them publicity. So
absolutely.
All right, let's kick it off. Let's go into the NHL, NBA. Nick, why don't you start us off with the NHL?
Well, we got a huge one tonight. The Rangers shut out the Senators, so that means they clinched the President's Trophy as the team that, they have the best regular season record. And so the thing that is commonly attached to that is something called the President's Trophy curse, which is that
the real thing.
I believe, if I remember correctly, there have only been 8 occasions where a team that won the President's Trophy also won the Stanley Cup that year. We did it in 1999, and then there was obviously 7 other examples. The last 10 years in a row, it has not happened. So, us here on Under Review, we as sports fans, we're pretty superstitious when it comes to that. That's what I pride myself in being. So that's huge for us because as a Stars fan, I didn't want it.
Yep.
We were worried about whether or not we were going to have to, maybe throw this season finale game on Wednesday. But now we can go in with, nothing riding on it and just go out there, win, and clinch the West. Stars clinched the Central on Saturday, I believe that was.
Yeah.
We're sitting atop the West right now. We've got a pretty solid lead, head of Vancouver there. And if we win Wednesday, we clinch the 1 seed, which is huge because that means we get home ice advantage throughout the entire Western Conference playoff round or whatever. But then obviously it depends on who we play in the Stanley Cup final. But kicking it off, I mean, we're looking pretty nasty this year, a lot better than we did last year. And a huge thing is it's looking like our round one opponent is going to be Vegas. And if you remember, that was the team that kind of handled us last year. So there's going to be some bad blood there.
Yeah.
We're better than we were last year. They're worse than they were last year. So it'll be a good – I'm excited for it. A lot of people are nervous just because there's some, I don't know, bad juju there. But I'm excited for it, I think we'll do fine. We're set for a good, deep playoff run. We've got good, solid offensive and defensive depth from top to bottom. All of our players are really coming together, so I'm super excited. I think we got a good shot here at a cup run for sure.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I'm obviously not as big of a hockey guy as Nick is. I'm pumped that the Stars are good and that they could have the one seed in the West. It's honestly a good time to be a Dallas sports fan right now, even though not everyone's winning championships yet, which that's yet to be determined with the NBA and NHL playoffs. But I mean, all the teams right now aren't terrible, and that's pretty cool because we've had stints where all the teams were terrible or most of the teams were terrible. So the Stars being good is just good for the Metroplex, and obviously we hope they come out with a Stanley Cup win because how long has it been? 99, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it has been a
while. So we are excited for the Stars to take off. To switch it over to the NBA, the Mavs got the 5 seed in the West, but it was good. They don't have to play in the play-in. Although the 5 seed doesn't sound great, the Mavs had the best record in the NBA since February 15th. We've been really hot, and what do we all know about any sport? It's you got to come into the playoffs hot. And so the Mavs are coming into the playoffs pretty red hot right now. Luka Doncic is he's an MVP candidate, and I don't think he's the front runner. He should be. There's a lot of bias in the MVP voting. The NBA, it's not always very fair about who gets these awards, but he should be the one that wins the MVP, even though he might not be. He's been putting on a show. Kyrie's playing really well. So the Mavs in general have been playing very well recently. They got 2 guys at the trade deadline, PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford, who've been helping out tremendously. Since they got those guys, we went on this great run to end the season. So unfortunately, we'll be playing the Clippers, which if you've been following basketball at all for the last few years, we always seem to be playing the Clippers in the first round of the NBA playoffs, and they're our kryptonite. But we're hoping this is the year we turn it around. So first game will be Sunday in LA. But you never know. The NBA it's tough, but obviously both. So the Nuggets are the 2 seed, but they're probably the favorites to win this NBA playoffs again. Same team from last year, basically. If anyone remembers, they dominated last year. So the Nuggets are my pick to come out of the West. The Celtics are the ones who are probably going to come out of the East. The Celtics have been the best team in basketball this year, but the Celtics are probably going to roll through the East. East is not as strong as the West, which unfortunately for the Mavs means we're going to have to beat some pretty tough teams if we want to make it to the finals, but we could do it. Who says we can't? I think that it's a different era in Dallas right now, okay? The Rangers won the World Series, all right? Scotty Scheffler just won the Masters. Who knows what else he's going to win
Renegades,
this year.
The XFL championship.
The Renegades won the XFL championship. They were 4-6 in the regular season, but they turned it around and they got it done.
They turned it on in the playoffs. That's exactly what happened.
Dallas right now is a city of champions. Mark my words. Nick, we could have another one by the end of June.
Absolutely.
We could have 2. You never know.
I mean, it's looking like both of these squads are set up really well to make some deep runs here. I mean, like Joseph said, we're the city of champions. I mean, you can't deny it with the amount of success that we've had, minus the Cowboys, obviously.
Yes. Minus the Cowboys.
These teams are due up for some damage. Another exciting thing NHL wise is it's really coming down to the wire because there's still 5. Wait, did I count that correctly? 1, 2, 3, 4 there is still 4 teams who are fighting for that last wild card spot. They're all within 2 points of each other, and so these last few days are going to be extremely valuable for these bottom tier teams. Teams like the Stars. We got one game left. This one is not super duper important, but for these bottom 4 teams, it is going to get pretty hot and heavy here towards the end. But we'll see. It's going to be super exciting. What a time to be a Dallas sports fan. We just got tons of things to look at here.
Have the Stars clinched the 1 seed in the West, or do they have to win, or what's the scenario?
Not quite. So the scenario for that is they're in it with one other team right now. It is them in Vancouver, right? We have 1 game left. If it's a win and in scenario, it doesn't matter what happens. If we win on Wednesday, that's it. Over with, done. In Vancouver, they play 2 more games. If they win out and we lose, they'll get it. If they lose 1 game, then they're out, done for. So obviously, you don't really want to pay attention to them, right? Because it doesn't matter what they do, because if we go out there, play our game, win, it's like I said, it's a win and in. And the team we're facing is not very good. They got eliminated from the playoffs, so they don't have anything to play for.
Yeah.
But it's a divisional matchup, so they're gonna come out hot, try and play spoiler,
Yep.
beat us or whatever, and try and ruin our chances at getting number 1 seed in the West. But it's very attainable. Should be pretty easy.
Mavs and Stars are in, and all you need to do is be in. All right, as we saw with the Rangers, all you got to do is
absolutely.
Get in. And it doesn't matter where you play or who you're playing. You get into the playoffs, everybody's 0-0. There's no records anymore.
You show up and it's just it's a different mentality. It really is.
And like I said, I think honestly, the Rangers and Renegades winning their respective championships turn the mentality in Dallas around.
Pressure. Puts on some pressure.
And now us as Dallas sports fans, we're no longer content with just making a deep run in the playoffs. We got to win. Obviously, me and Nick here at Under Review, we've never been content with a deep run. We've always said if you don't win the last game of the season, no one cares. But I'm just talking about fans in general. So I really hope that one of these teams, or obviously best case scenario, both of these teams come out of their respective playoffs with the trophy.
Yep.
But
absolutely.
I'm not as confident about the NBA as I would be about the NHL. The Stars are rolling. Getting the 1 seed would be huge, and that obviously means you're the best team in your conference. So Mavs will have a little bit of a tougher road, but the Stars could be the ones that get it done.
Yep. That's just our little playoff episode, had to just keep you updated on what's going on. We're excited. Obviously, it's going to get pretty tense here in Dallas pretty soon, but we're here for it.
Oh, yeah.
So here's like to end our shows in Under Review. I brought you a quote from the Muhammad Ali, who is a champion boxer. He said, "Champions aren't made in the gyms. Champions are made from something they have deep inside them, a desire, a dream, a vision."
And we're hoping all our Dallas players have that inside.
That desire, that dream, and that vision. You take that with you for the rest of this week. Use it, and just be better. Just be a champion.
Have that champion mindset. Thank y'all for tuning in this week. We'll see you next week with another episode of Under Review.